Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. It's been quite the week for AI news, huh?
It really has been a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
Yes.
So much so that we're breaking up our deep dive into this stuff into 3 parts.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be a big one.
It is. It is. So to kick things off, let's talk about this whole AGI thing.
AGI.
Yeah, artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like just yesterday everyone was freaking out about ChatGPT, and now we're already talking about AGI.
Well, those large language models really did seem to speed up the timeline a lot.
They really did.
Yeah.
And it used to be that when we talked about AGI, we were thinking about super intelligent.
Yeah, passing the Turing test, becoming self-aware.
Right. But now it seems like the definition of AGI is shifting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about one thing: money.
Money.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Mm.
Apparently, some leaked documents suggest that Microsoft and OpenAI are defining AGI as a system that can generate at least $100 billion in profit.
Wow. That's a very different way to look at it.
Right. It's like saying the measure of a human's intelligence isn't their creativity or problem-solving skills, but their net worth.
It's certainly a very pragmatic definition.
It is. It makes you think about what's really driving AI development.
Yeah.
Like, is it about advancing technology for the benefit of humanity, or is it about making a quick buck?
Well, and it raises some pretty big ethical questions, too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if the goal is just profit, could that lead to AI being used in ways that are harmful or exploitative?
It's a possibility we have to consider. I mean, we've already seen examples of AI being used to spread misinformation or manipulate people.
Right. And if the focus is solely on profit, those kinds of issues might get swept under the rug.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations now before AGI becomes a reality.
Absolutely. Okay, so speaking of Microsoft and OpenAI, there have been some reports of tension between the two companies. And this whole profit-driven definition of AGI might actually explain why.
Oh, how so?
Well, Microsoft, being a business, wants to develop proprietary AI technology that they can control and monetize.
Right, makes sense.
But OpenAI, with their mission of ensuring that AGI benefits all of humanity, might be hesitant about that level of control.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to balance pushing AI forward while also making sure it doesn't become dangerous.
Exactly. It's a tricky situation, for sure.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little less intense. AI hallucinations.
Hallucinations, you mean when AI makes stuff up?
Yeah, exactly. Like when it gives you information that's completely wrong or generates images that are nonsensical.
Right. But you know what's interesting? Those hallucinations are actually helping scientists make some pretty big discoveries.
Wait, really? How does that work?
Well, it seems counterintuitive, but sometimes those unexpected outputs can spark new ideas and lead scientists down paths they might not have considered otherwise.
So it's like AI is this crazy brainstorming partner that's throwing out all sorts of weird ideas.
Kinda, yeah. And sometimes those weird ideas turn out to be brilliant.
Like what?
Well, there have been some amazing examples, like Nobel Prize-winning protein designs, novel antibiotics, even improvements in catheter designs, all inspired by AI hallucinations. Wow, that's incredible. So even when AI is messing up, it can still be helpful.
It's like AI is saying, hey, what if we try this crazy idea? And sometimes that crazy idea leads to a breakthrough.
That's pretty mind-blowing. It makes you wonder if these hallucinations could be a sign that we're on the path towards a more general intelligence.
It's possible. I mean, these unexpected outputs could be glimpses of a deeper cognitive ability that we're only just beginning to understand.
Okay, well, that's getting into some pretty deep stuff. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, let's talk about Google.
Google.
Yeah, they've been making some interesting moves in the AI world lately. Like their decision to use Anthropic's Claude AI to compare and potentially improve their own Gemini model.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. So they're basically using their competitors' AI to make their own AI better.
It seems that way. But the thing is, there's no clarity on whether they have permission to do that.
That raises some ethical questions.
It does. It's like they're peeking at their rivals' homework without asking.
It does seem a little unfair. It highlights the fact that this race to develop advanced AI is happening in a space where the rules are still being written.
Right. It's like the Wild West of AI development. Everyone's trying to stake their claim and outsmart each other.
And that can lead to some questionable behavior.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of questionable behavior, let's talk about Google's acquisition of Character AI.
Character AI.
Yeah, they're the company behind those AI chatbots that let you talk to fictional characters or historical figures.
Oh, right. Yeah, those are pretty cool.
They are. And they're also really good at running complex AI models without spending a ton of money.
Ah, so that's why Google acquired them.
Most likely. I mean, Google is always looking for ways to save money, and Character AI seems to have figured out how to do AI on a budget.
And this could be a sign of how companies are preparing for the looming data shortage we've been hearing about.
Data shortage.
Yeah, the idea is that we're going to run out of high-quality data to train AI models.
Really? How is that possible?
Well, as AI gets more advanced, it needs more and more data to learn. And eventually, we might hit a point where there's just not enough data to go around.
So what happens then?
Well, that's where companies like Character AI come in. They figured out how to optimize inference, which is basically how an AI model uses the data it's been trained on to actually do things.
So it's not just about having a ton of data anymore. It's about using that data efficiently.
Exactly. And that's going to become even more important as data becomes more scarce.
Interesting. So it's like learning to cook with whatever's in the fridge instead of running to the grocery store every time you need an ingredient.
I like that analogy. And this shift towards efficiency could have a big impact on the AI industry.
How so?
Well, it could lead to more targeted AI applications, more accessible AI for smaller companies, and maybe even a more sustainable approach to AI development.
Okay, now that's something I can definitely get behind. More efficient AI that benefits everyone.
That's the goal. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more happening in the world of AI, from chain of thought prompting to flash models.
Flash models.
Yeah, we'll have to save that for another time.
Okay, well, you've definitely given us a lot to think about today.
Yeah, this AI stuff is moving fast. It's hard to keep up.
It really is.
Yeah.
But that's why we do these deep dives, to help break down the complex world of technology and make it a little more understandable.
Exactly. And hopefully a little more fun, too.
Well said. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more AI insights.
Sounds good. I'm ready for part 2.
Me too. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. So we've been talking about all this crazy stuff happening in the world of AI, like seriously, AI hallucinations helping scientists, and a new definition of AGI based on profit. But before we go any further, we have to talk about Google giving away their flash models for free.
For free!
Yeah, I was surprised too. I mean, why would Google just give away something that could be so valuable? Especially with this whole focus on profit in the AI world, right? It's like giving away the secret recipe.
Well, it's definitely an interesting move. It could be that they're trying to become the industry standard.
Kind of like if you give away the razors, you can sell the blades type of deal.
Exactly. If flash models become the go-to for AI applications, then Google can still profit by selling the specialized hardware or cloud services that are needed to run them at scale.
That makes sense. So it's not just about having the best AI anymore. It's about having the AI that everyone uses.
Right. And this move could benefit users, too.
Oh, how so?
Well, imagine having powerful AI assistants on your phone or even in your smart home devices, all running smoothly without needing a supercomputer in your basement.
That would be amazing. Like having a personal Jarvis from Iron Man.
Exactly. And flash models are designed to be super efficient at inference, which is how AI models actually use the data they've been trained on to do things.
So they can do more with less?
Yeah, basically. And that's going to be crucial as we face this potential data shortage.
Oh, right. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
So this is all kind of tied together then.
It is. The shift towards efficiency in AI is going to be huge. And Google giving away these flash models is a sign of that.
Okay, so more efficient AI running on everyday devices. That sounds pretty good to me. But it also makes me think about the ethical side of things.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, if AI becomes more powerful and more accessible, does that increase the risk of it being misused?
Absolutely. It's something we have to be very careful about.
Like, what if someone uses these flash models to create deepfakes that are even more convincing, or develop AI-powered weapons that can operate autonomously?
Those are scary possibilities. And that's why it's so important to have ethical guidelines and regulations in place.
Right. We need to make sure that AI is being developed responsibly and that its benefits are outweighing its risks.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance. And it's one that we need to strike if we want to create a future where AI truly benefits humanity.
Okay, so more power to the people, to the AI in our pockets. But let's make sure the power is used for good.
Agreed. We need to be mindful of the potential consequences, both positive and negative, of the technology we're creating.
Well said. Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground today, but there's still so much more to explore in the world of AI.
Definitely. We've only just scratched the surface.
And on that note, we're going to take another quick break. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with the final part of our AI deep dive.
Can't wait to see what other mind-blowing developments we uncover.
Me too. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. Phew, we've covered a lot of ground in this 3-part deep dive into AI. I feel like my brain is about to explode.
Mine too. It's a lot to process,
Yeah?
but it's been a fascinating conversation, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
much to think about. From those AI hallucinations that are somehow helping scientists to this whole idea of AGI being defined by profit. Like the world of AI is turning upside down.
It really is. And it's happening so fast, it's hard to keep up with all the changes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes it so exciting too. There's always something new to learn, something new to discover.
That's for sure. And that's why it's so important to stay informed and engaged, because these developments in AI are going to have a profound impact on our lives.
Agreed. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what stands out to you the most from everything we've talked about?
Well, for me, it's the sheer pace of change in AI. Like I said, it feels like every week brings a new breakthrough or a new ethical dilemma. It's just nonstop.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that's why this new definition of AGI based on profit is so significant. It really highlights the fact that AI is becoming increasingly commercialized.
Exactly. And that raises some big questions about who's going to benefit from this technology and who might get left behind.
Right, like if AGI is all about making money, then who's going to make sure that it's also being used for good?
That's the $1 million question, or maybe I should pray the $100 billion question given the new definition of AGI.
Uh-huh. Right? But seriously, it's something we need to be thinking about carefully. Because as AI gets more powerful, it also becomes more potentially dangerous.
Absolutely. We've already seen examples of AI being used in harmful ways, like spreading misinformation or creating deepfakes. And those problems are only going to get worse as AI continues to evolve.
So what can we do about it?
Well, I think it starts with having these conversations about the ethics of AI, like we're doing right now. We need to raise awareness about the potential risks and make sure that we're developing AI in a way that's aligned with our values.
I agree. And I think it's also important to remember that AI is ultimately a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil.
Exactly. It's not the technology itself that's the problem, it's how we choose to use it.
Right. So we need to be mindful of the choices we make and make sure that we're using AI to create a better future for everyone.
Well said. Okay, so to sum up everything we've talked about today, I think the key takeaway is this AI is changing the world in profound ways, and it's up to us to shape how that change unfolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive in ensuring that AI is developed responsibly and ethically.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Awesome. Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of Bite-Sized Tech. It's been a wild ride through the world of AI, but I hope you've enjoyed it.
I have. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise. And thanks to all of our listeners for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions. We'll see you next time.